Welcome to Pillar Talk.
I think that he wants us as a father to think big and to dream big.
The Lord gave us these 5 pillars. Our weapon is his word. He loadeth us daily. Hey everyone, I'm Pastor Hannah. And this is Pillar Talk. And Pillar Talk is when we discuss who we are. This is who we are, and this is what we do. And I'm excited to make sure that you know who we are. I am literally sitting here with the foundation. These two to my right and my left, Pastor Hill and Pastor Terrance. These are the ones that we sat with, that we handed out the binders to literally write the vision of this is who we are and this is what we do. And to my right is Pastor Hill.
Hello, I'm Pastor Hill.
And to my left is
Pastor Terrance.
Pastor Terrance. I'll never forget, and to our late evangelist, Pastor Ali Tremio, it was the 4 of us that went out to her house and sat at a restaurant. And I handed each of you all these white binders. I have such a good memory. These white binders, and we literally began to write the vision of New Life, sitting inside of this restaurant, and we would just pray and pray and pray. I remember being sent to New Life, Choco's church, and the Lord was like, I'm going to send your back up here. And the first one to come was Pastor Hill. And when you went there, what did you do?
Choco immediately put me right to work. Pastor Choco put me immediately right to work. He gave me the task of helping his ushers at the time. And can I say what the task was? So Choco just wanted a refresh of how they serviced the people, how they interacted with the people, but he didn't want to tell them. So it was my task, Coach, to come up with a plan for them to redesign how they actually serviced the people that came to church. So it was very interesting because the church had been there for years, more than 10 years. 30 years. Right. And now here comes a black guy from the South Side.
Only black. To
tell them some new designs or new ways to do it. So it was quite interesting.
Right. And so then Pastor Tremio was at a church as an assistant pastor, and the Lord told her, wherever John is, go where he is. And then her and Damien showed up. And then Terrance called me one day and was like, I hear the Lord telling me to come where you are. And then you showed up. And what we did, we knew, we wanted the DNA of the house that we were in, New Life on the north side. We wanted that DNA. They were doing outreach. Their worship was amazing. But we knew that we, as an African-American, we couldn't basically pick that up and bring that. We had to add our own little sauce. You know, we like hot sauce. We had to put a little seasoning on it. And so when we designed it, let's talk about the 4 pillars. We knew that once we started, we stepped back, and our services were an hour and a half long. Bible study was on Thursdays, hour long. And we were like, okay, now what do we do? What are we doing? It was nothing but what?
Word.
Worship.
And worship. That was it. And every year we taught a series on worship because we knew that needed to be in the fiber, in the DNA of our church. We saw worship on a whole nother level, and we would get locked in worship. So it was worship, it was word. Now word was teaching and preaching in series, which was not known, unfortunately, in the African-American community.
Especially with your props.
Right. Yeah, talking to my son.
Oh, sorry.
I'm here for him. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, especially with the props. I think you came with the word, not just from the Bible, but you illustrated the word. And I think that was the thing that really played a big role in that pillar of the church.
Right. So I always knew that I had illustration when we were doing our SBC. We didn't know it was called illustrative sermons, but it was just the creative part in me. And so we were doing illustrative sermons, and so that was different for us. And people, they might not remember what you said, but they'll remember how you showed them. So that was key for us. So word was key. Now, let me just talk about word. I had a study team, Pastor Solomon and Pastor Tim. Yes. So we would literally lock in and we would study throughout the week to prepare for the word. You gonna say something?
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah. So that was key word-wise. And we dug into the word. Key about screens. Because we knew that we were going after the lost. And we can't say, now come on, go to the book of Leviticus. Because the lost don't know where the book of Leviticus was. So we were key about having a screen. Look at that. Putting the word on the screen.
Hold on. So our first screen
I was going to say that, yeah.
was a mini projector. The smallest one that they made, because we had a really small budget.
Right.
So
on PowerPoint.
Right. We had a computer.
Come on here.
And a projector, and we figured out how to project it on the wall, not a screen, but the wall of the building. So that was our first encounter with putting the words to the music and the word on the wall.
And I had to turn in those scriptures every Saturday, send them to a team. They had to get, quote unquote, the PowerPoint together. Come on here. This church bougie now. We had to get the PowerPoint, but we were adamant about the words to the song needed to be on the screen and the word to the sermon needed to be on the screen. And then I would pass out handouts on Thursday night Bible study.
Every service there was a handout. Sunday and Thursdays.
I remember
so a handout was fill in the blank. So he would do his Bible study and say, the Lord said, and then they had to write it down. So that's how the Bible studies began, like that.
So we have always been word, and we have always been worship, and we have always been making sure that you know the word. We made sure that worship was participation from the audience. So we put the words on screen to make sure that you could see what you're singing. That was key for us. Very key, because our goal was to go after the unchurched, so they don't know the words. So how do we make sure that you become a part of it? So that was word, that was worship. Key for word people. Sunday's service would always be a pickup of Thursday Bible study, because we could always go deeper into the word. And to God be the glory, we've kept that up for the last 18 years.
That's right.
And consistently drilling in that word. Yeah. I love that Bible. I love the Bible. I love illustrating the sermon. The creative part was keeping creative people around you and then having a team. We always have a team that we can pick up the phone and call and say, now go get this. Now go get that. You were part of that team.
Yep. And always, Pastor would always say that heaven is full of ideas. So we never went dry. We never flatlined. There was always another creative idea every week, every month.
Every month.
And that was key. Heaven is full of ideas. So, and to God be the glory, I've always had people around me that didn't try to put a cap on my creativity or say, well, we can't do that. Whatever I came up with, what's my line? Where we live?
We live in Chicago.
And then we live in
Chicago. Got everything. Just go find it.
That is my idea.
No matter what time of the night.
I don't care.
That's right.
We live in Chicago, and you can't tell me we can't find it. We're not in the back of the woods. So word and worship. Now this is key too. We have to be honest. The outreach part, we literally got from that north side.
Absolutely.
That north side made sure that we got the DNA of outreach, because I'm saying this respectfully, in most African-American churches, we just come to church and we go home. We come to church, and we even have people that drive into the city where the church is, get in their car, and then drive back to their gated communities or whatever, and know nothing about that community.
And that was a concern of ours, was how do we get our community to buy into the outreach portion? How do we get them to come out and service the community wherever we were, wherever we were having church at? But we needed to service that community for that reason.
I would say that was probably the number one reason why we were able to get the unchurched to come to be a part of New Life.
Definitely. Because we were outside the four walls of the church. And everywhere we went, we made sure that we had a flyer to make sure that people knew who we were and where we were and what time that we were there. We did hot dog outreaches. We did Easter. We lined up in the streets and give our Easter baskets. We pulled up a truck in the projects, when the projects were over there.
Ida B. Wells.
In Ida B. Wells. And we hollered, free ice cream. They came running from everywhere.
Everywhere.
And we had people there waiting to witness with them and pray for them. Let's talk about the hot dog outreach. When the man died.
And came back to life.
Flatline.
Flatline.
We out here feeding the community, and the man choked on the hot dog, who happened to be a little high.
No, not us, the man.
The man.
Right.
He choked on the hot dog and died. And they ran to me like, Pastor Hannah, a man is dead. I say, not on our watch. We literally lined up where they had put the red tape and went in prayer. Like, God, it cannot be said that a man died while we serving your people.
And you have the neighborhood, the people watching us praying for this man. So God is on display right now.
Full display. In the hood.
In the
projects.
hood. Yes.
And they were looking like, and we just stepped, we let they called the police and the paramedics came, and when we saw that man's stomach go up and come down, I went up and didn't come down. It was a miracle right there. So we just saw God. When we moved to the Grand Crossing community, this is our motto: you find a need and then you meet it.
Yes.
That's what we do. But then we had to learn about outreach too, because we were just so to the pure, all things are pure, doing outreach like the time that we did the grandmother's house.
Yes.
Oh, that was great.
Makeovers, home makeovers.
We did a complete home makeover of a grandmother who had to take on all of the kids. Yeah. We went in, we remodeled the entire house, furnished the entire house, put them downtown. Let them stay downtown while we did their house. We did not put a limit on their credit card.
And gave them a shopping spree.
We learned about that.
They ate and drove that bill up like you wouldn't believe. Oh, I learned my lesson.
We learned our lesson.
Moving on up.
Listen, so we moved them in. We gave away cars to single mothers. We literally, vans to single mothers. We were literally pouring. The atheists had come to Chicago and put signs on the buses saying, don't believe in God.
This is outreach.
We let them run their ads, and then we came right after the atheists and put signs on the same buses they were on, and said, you better believe in God.
That's right.
I mean, we were just adamant about outreach. That is who we are, and that is what we do. The school next door to us, Betty Shabazz, their bathrooms look like Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott had used them.
Help us, Lord.
We went in that bathroom. It was like, this is not of God. So we literally sent a team of our members over, gutted the bathrooms, and remodeled it. It was a women's shelter next door.
Right next door to
Right
it.
next door. Their kitchen and their dining area was not nice.
Yep.
We literally gutted it, did the entire kitchen, the dining area, an entertainment room for the homeless.
And this is when we were small. We were not the new life that you're looking at on Pillar.
This is what.
This was not that new life.
This is the price you paid to get here.
Yes.
Yes. These are the seeds that you sowed to get where you are today. Absolutely. I remember our members would get the anointing would be so strong, people didn't have money. They were putting gold earrings, diamond rings, gold chains, leather coats, fur coats on the altar. Yeah. You know what we did? We went and got all that jewelry clean. We wrapped it up for Christmas, and we gave it to the women in the homeless shelter. Bro, to God be the glory. This is who we are.
Heaven's full of ideas.
Heaven is full of ideas. We put hot dog stands on corners, and we just hollered free food. We fed people hot dog, a bag of potato chips, and something to drink. Yep. And that was all out of the 4 walls. And I want to say this. Only thing I did was sit up and tell our members, this is what we want to do. And they would literally give us the money to do it.
Not only did they give the money, but they would show up to serve.
That's true, Pastor. We did not have the issue that we thought we were going to have. Yes. Because we led by example. We were there.
We were there.
In the outreaches. We were on the streets. Yes. We were doing that. And the people followed. They really did. I agree with you.
And that is so key. Like priests like people.
Yep.
Like priests like people. So if we serve, then the people serve. Absolutely. If we feed the hungry, then they'll be willing to. If we give, then they give. And this is who we are. And I am so grateful that we have not changed in that area. Right. We did the gas outreach recently.
That was amazing.
We were there.
Yes. That's true.
We all were there.
That's true.
We were all there at the gas outreach because this is what we do.
Absolutely.
Our wives came. This is who we are. So it wasn't like we were just showing up. No, our houses were emptied out. And we made sure that this is who we are, and this is what we do. So that was the word, that was the worship, that was the outreach, and then the pillar of prayer. Once we got to the tabernacle and we purchased that, I remember the Lord saying to me, "Now I need you to begin to start these prayer meetings every second and fourth Tuesday." And so then prayer took off. We started prayer at the annex.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
4 o'clock in the morning.
At the annex.
Who would think people would come out at 4 a.m.
In the hood.
to come to prayer?
When the Lord told me that, I told God, 4 o'clock? I started singing that old song, just the two of us. I told God, nobody's going to meet me. But to my surprise, the first time we called 4 a.m. prayer, there were over 100 people at the annex. That we literally filled the auditorium part, and then we put speakers out in the foyer area, the lobby area, for people to be there. And I will never forget when the Lord said to me, "Now make room for more." And at 4 o'clock in the morning, they met me at the annex, and we walked to the tabernacle and said, from this point on, prayer will be held in this building.
Let me say this. You've led in, we talked about you leading and people will follow. So in worship, it was designed for the people to see you worshiping.
In worship.
For prayer, you have led in outreach. You have led in. So everything that people see the outcome of now was led by the people following your lead. Absolutely. And that's always been important. You've always been in it, not just saying it.
Like priests, like people.
Yes.
I don't care. You cannot be a leader. You cannot be a shepherd and just say it. You have to show it. And that was one of the things that we did. We moved to the tabernacle, and we literally never went beneath 200 people to 300 at 4 a.m. prayer. Yeah. The only time that we saw a decrease is during the pandemic. Other than that.
Hold on, one more time.
What?
That Arctic vortex winter, when it was 30 below for 15 days.
I was like, nobody's coming.
Nobody's coming. But we streamed to make sure that prayer still went on.
Yeah.
But it was a low number.
It was
cold.
so cold. I was like, nobody's coming. And I got there.
People was there.
And they were there.
Yes.
I walked in there like, are y'all kidding me? One of the things, and I hope that everyone that is listening, that you get this, the key word that is consistency. Consistency. You can't start, stop. If this is who you are and this is what you do, you have to be consistent in that area. And to God be the glory, He has always kept people around me that have been able to keep up with me. And it's not easy.
It is not easy.
But I'm consistent.
Consistent.
I am consistent. I'll add something to the vision, but we don't change our DNA.
That's right.
We've never changed our DNA. I remember when we do the 12-hour prayer right now, but the first time we did a 24-hour prayer meeting.
Mm-hmm. One time.
That thing almost killed me. I almost died. I died in prayer. That thing. Whew. And I was adamant, like, I'm staying the whole 24 hours. I'm not going to sleep.
And if he stayed, I stayed. So
we looked so crazy by the time that thing was over. You know what's crazier? I got to preach that Sunday. That's crazy. That after 24 hours, I got up and I preached that Sunday. God has to give you the grace to do what He called you to do.
He doesn't, but that's why we're so grateful that you have help now.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
So now that's, again, the prayer pillow. So we still do, it's been going on like 12 years now, 4 a.m. prayer. We took the 24 hours to 12 hours.
Real quick.
We did the 12, the prayer down to 9. This is who we are. Yes. And that is key. And I just say to anyone, we've been guilty, and I know this from growing up in church, pastors have always told the women to pray. The mother's board, the missionaries, y'all call prayer meeting. Yeah. Pastors never showed up. But the Lord told me, again, you're going to lead. So I have been consistent in those prayer meetings for the last 12 years. And I am so grateful that when I'm not in 12-hour prayer, I start shaking because I miss it so much. It is in my DNA. The last pillar, which is the community development, that did not come to us until we got the plans for this building. With Charles Johnson added to our team, he stretched us in regards to all the land. We just bought every piece of land that we could get our hands on in this community. Land across the street, we're like, well, what are we gonna do with it? I don't know, just get it. Not knowing that there would be a vision to come later to go with the land. So then, here we go again, which ties us back to our outreach. We partnered with Habitat. Habitat is the ones that we sold the land to, and they sell the land to home buyers, first-time home buyers. And the first-time home buyers build their homes. Perfect. We got the team, our church, that's going to help these people build their homes. So community development. We have the school across the street, and we partner with Common. That is all community development that is working with. This church is not just a church. It's a church. It's a theater and a church. The theater part will be called the Oasis. So you'll begin to see plays, concerts, musicals, all in this building. Now you're bringing jobs to the community. Now you're bringing all this. Here we go again. Community development.
And now the Chance Center, sorry.
The Chance Center across the street. That we bought the building. Now we just have to get it rehab. What is that? That's where community go when they have a need. I need help with my light bill. I need help with my gas bill. I need help finding a job. I have an interview, but I don't have anything to wear. We have the closet. We have so many things. We have a legal team that come here and give people free legal advice once a month. What am I trying to say, guys? This is who we are, and this is what we do. And I want you to know, God has sent many of you all here because this is what you want to do. We're not creating the vision. You're stepping into the vision. And I just say to anyone at any other church, if you don't know who you are, then you'll be all over the place. So be key in who you are, and don't try to think that you have to change who you are and be like somebody else. God can only bless you being you. And so this is Pillar Talk, and we're excited to share. This is who we are, and this is what we do. God bless you all.